Hello, my name is Mr. Bryce. I'm with Susquehanna Valley High School here in Concord, New York. If you have any questions, there's my contact information. And this is Common Core Algebra 1. This is our third test of the year. This is the practice test. First question, is this a sentence or is it an equation? Well, it's very simple. An equation has an equal sign, so that's an equation. An equation has an equal sign, so that's an equation. If it has that, it's an inequality. Like 3x minus 2 is less than 17, or even less than or equal to 17. That's an inequality. These are equations. If it just has 3x plus 7, that's an expression. True or false? That is false. Why? Because 121 is not the same as 61. Now here, you can type this into your calculator exactly the same way. So that is true. However, we know with the exponent rules, we add the exponents. Yes, that is a true rule. The one on the left is not. Multiple choice. Which of the following is an equation? No equal sign, that's not an equation. No equal sign, that's not an equation. That is an inequality. That is an equation. Sorry, I shouldn't have crossed out the D. I wanted to circle the D. Solve each of the following. Draw the big line. Combine like terms on the left-hand side. There's nothing to combine. Combine the like terms on the right-hand side. There's nothing to combine. Combine the like terms from the left to the right. We have 5x equals 20. We're doing the reverse of the operations. We divide both sides by 5. We have x equals 4. We can plug it back in to check. 5 times 4 plus 3, does it equal 23? 20 plus 3, does it equal 23? 23 equals 23. It checks. So the same thing here. Draw the big line. Combine like terms on the left-hand side. Combine like terms on the right-hand side. There's nothing to combine. So we have 6x equals negative 12. Divide both sides by 6 because it's the opposite of multiplication. X equals negative 2. We can plug it in and check. And we have that it does check. Negative 9 equals negative 9. If you want to hit pause, take a look at it. Great. If you don't, let's move on to the next one. There's a lot that we can do here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute first because that's what most of you are going to do. 4w plus 4. Don't distribute there. Minus 2 equals negative 6. Why don't we distribute there? Because that's outside the parentheses. Combine like terms. 4w plus 2 equals negative 6. There's the big line. Subtract 2 from both sides. We're doing the opposite of the operations. 4 times w equals negative 8. When we divide both sides by 4, we get w equals 2, negative 2. When we check it by plugging it in, it does check. So here, when we draw the big line, we can subtract 3x. We can subtract 3x from both sides. We get negative 2. That's why I put that question in there. Make sure you bring down the negative sign. Negative 2 equals 2x plus 7. When we subtract 7 from both sides, we get negative 9 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. Negative 4.5 equals x. Yes, some of you left negative 5 over 9, over 2, sorry, negative 9 over 2 equals x. Both answers are correct. If I'm going too fast for you, just slow it down a little bit. There's a slow down key there, okay? Is there one solution, no solutions, or an infinite number of solutions to this problem? Okay. Why? Combine like terms, draw the big line, combine like terms on the left-hand side. We have 2 minus 2x equals negative 2x plus 3. When we add 2 x's to both sides, there are no x's. 2 equals 3. Does 2 equal 3? No, never. So there's no solution. Why? I just showed my work. 2 does not equal 3. Never, ever, ever. So what happens if there's only one solution? All of these up here only had one solution. All the ones we just did only have one solution because it came out w equaled -2, x equals -4.5. That's one solution. So what if there's an infinite number of solutions? Maybe this comes out to be an infinite number of solutions. I don't know. X plus x is 2x. We combine like terms on the right-hand side. Now we combine like terms on the right-hand side. 2x minus 17. Oh my gosh, that's the same thing. Well, why don't I just, if I subtract 2x from both sides, because I didn't notice that they were both the same thing, -17 equals -17. When is that true? Always. So that's when there's an infinite solutions. Because we have the same number equals the same number. Because 17 equals 17 always. If I'm going too fast for you, remember you can listen to it again, and you can always ask me questions. An explorer went to a strange planet and found one species of worm that can reproduce every 5 days and lay 100 eggs. In an experiment, scientists placed one male and one female worm in 9 cubic feet of dirt. This worm drinks human blood for food. They used to donate blood. Okay, good. And a special membrane to feed the worms. They determined that the worms consume 1 milliliter of blood a day and live for 10 days. It takes 50,000 worms to totally drain an adult human body of blood. The question, you can determine how many worms there are by using the equation m equals 200 times 2 raised to the x minus 65. A person has to see a doctor if they're bitten by 100 worms in a day. They're hospitalized if they're bitten by 1,000 worms. They're dead if they're bitten by 5,000 worms. Complete the table and explain to a patient your observation based on the table, days, and bites. Okay, so I grab my calculator and I hit y equals because that gives me a table. I enter in the equation 0.2 parenthesis 2 parenthesis exponent to the x. Right arrow to get out of the exponent, minus 65. To get a table, I look for the word table, so I hit second graph because the word table is in blue up there. Now you'll notice that this is a bad table to use because it starts off with negative and it does not get up to 5,000. We have to get up to 5,000. So I go back to my calculator and I hit the down arrow until in the y column I can see 5,000. It's not going to come out exactly to 5,000. Stop. And here's the table. Now, I reread the question just to make sure. It said 5,000. So here I have 1,500, and here I have 3,000, and here I have 6,488. So it has to be between 14 and 15. So I copy that down. And now I finish the question. Complete the table and explain to a patient what your observations are based on the table. Based on the table, you are dead after day 14 during day 15. Solve this problem 2 different ways. Solve by distributing. 3x minus 15 plus 6 equals 36. Combine like terms on the left-hand side. 3x minus 9 equals 36. Add 9 to both sides. 3x equals 45. Divide by 3. X equals 15. Solve by reverse order of operations. Okay, now, that's the difference. We have to subtract 6 from both sides, and we get 3x minus 5. Why do I have to subtract 6 from both sides? Because the first thing that I do is subtract. The second thing that I do is multiply. The third thing that I do is add 6. So I got rid of the 6 by subtracting the 6. Now I have to divide by 3. And I get x minus 5 equals 12. And now I have to add 5. Hang on. There we go. I just made a mistake. When I subtracted 6, I didn't write down 30. I wrote down 36 right there. So now I add 5. And I have x equals 15. On both sides, x is the same number. These two problems look a lot alike, but there is an important difference. Identify and describe the difference. Let me see. The 4 is not on the fraction bar. The 4 is on the fraction bar. Include the impact it has solving the process. Then solve both problems. Okay, so the 4 is not. The 4 is not on top. So we've solved a couple of these in class. First thing you do is subtract 4 because you're doing the reverse order of operations. That's not part of the parentheses. 3x plus 5 all over 2 equals 13. Here, we combine the like terms. 3x plus 9 over 2 equals 17. Now, we multiply by 2. We multiply by 2. 3x plus 5 equals 26. When we multiply by 2, 3x plus 9 equals 34. Now, we subtract 5. We subtract 5. 3x equals 21. When we divide by 3, x equals 7. We're going to get a different answer over here because the problems were different. There's one of them that was on top of the division symbol, the fraction bar, and the other one wasn't. So what we get when we divide by 3, we get x equals 8 and 1/3. Two different answers. I told you to take a look at this one and to just absorb it. We're going to talk about it a lot more in class. So that's it for the day.